Good evening. I'm meteorologist Trevor Oliver with Putnam Weather and More, and I'm here to give you the latest weather info and news for Putnam County. Let's start by talking about the tropics. Right now, there's this area of low pressure off the western coast of Africa. Associated with it are organizing storms. If that organization trend continues, this low could become a tropical depression. But the conditions are very favorable for tropical storm development within the next 7 days. And so the National Hurricane Center has given that low a 90% chance of developing within that time frame. Now, switching our focus to this yellow area over here, this has a much lower chance of developing within that same time frame. The NHC, the National Hurricane Center, has given it only a 20% chance. So don't worry about that low a whole lot. Instead, focus more on the one closer to Africa. Now, it is too early to say what it'll do or where it'll hit, but still keep track of it using your weather apps or by visiting the National Hurricane Center's website. With that being said, let's dive into the aerial forecast. Right now in Palaca, it is rainy and the temperature is 75 degrees. And tonight, the low will be 73 degrees. And unfortunately, there is a 70% chance of rain there in Palaca. So, you dog owners, beware of any storms in your vicinity. Keep track of them using your radar apps or by simply looking at the sky and listening for thunder. And when thunder roars, go indoors immediately. That is great advice. Heed that advice. Now those rain chances will decrease as we head into the week due to an area of high pressure that's building over the state. And due to that higher pressure and the fewer storms in the area, those highs will increase. They'll start off around in the low 90s and then increase to the mid 90s during the latter half of the week. And those lows, they'll be in the mid 70s throughout the week. uh, Despite those decreasing rain chances and those increasing highs, thunderstorms will still be the primary hazards. So just beware of any thunderstorms, especially in the afternoon with peak daytime heating and the progression of the sea breeze further inland. Now looking at Crescent City, it is mostly cloudy there and the temperature is 82 degrees. And tonight the low will be 75 degrees. There is a 70% chance of rain there in Crescent City as well. And just like Palaca, those rain chances will decrease during the week due to that aforementioned high pressure. And those highs will will also increase there in Crescent City. They'll start off in the low 90s and then increase to the mid 90s during the latter half of the week. But those lovely lows, they'll remain in the mid 70s, with the exception of Thursday. Storms will be the greatest threats during the week. And to prepare for that high heat on Thursday, I suggest you pack plenty of water, especially if you have plans to be outdoors. And if at any point you feel overheated, find a shady area and sit in it and drink your water. And sunscreen is always a plus. And finally, in Interlaken, it is also rainy and the temperature is 80 degrees, and that'll continue to drop and it'll reach a low of 72 degrees. Now, the probability of precipitation there is slightly higher. It's at 80%. So those of you in Interlaken, be extra cautious of storms in your vicinity. Now, just like at the other locations, those rain chances in Interlaken will decrease during the week, but those thunderstorms will remain the primary hazards, and those highs will increase uh, during during the week. They'll start off in the mid 90s and then reach the upper 90s during the latter half of the week. And so the National Weather Service thinks that there will be heat advisories issued at some point during the week. And so keep track of any alerts that you receive from the National Weather Service, and you have to be on the lookout for those heat advisories. Now, I heard it through the grapevine that there is an event coming up. It is called Grapes in the Garden, a Muscadine Field Day. Now, this event will teach you how to cultivate muscadine grapes, and you'll be taught by experts. And this event will be at Ever After Farms Vineyard, which is at 372 Cisco Road in Pomona Park. The event is this Wednesday, the 13th, from 10 in the morning to 1 in the afternoon. In conclusion, thank you so much for listening. Please leave a like or comment. Consider subscribing. And if you're interested in any storm chasing content, consider following me on X. I post much of my storm chasing content on that platform. Um, consider consider following other storm chasers. They need all this support they can get. And if you're an not an advertiser, excuse me, a business owner who wishes to have their services or plan events advertised, reach out to me in the comment section and we can work something out together. And again, thank you so much for listening. I've been meteorologist Trevor Oliver with Putnam Weather and More. Have a great evening.